Hi guys, welcome back to today's class. So today is the day 10 of the Easter Kids Coding Fest. Okay, and today we are going to be designing storybook cover. Oh yes, you heard me right. We are going to be designing a storybook cover. But then before we start, let's go through the goal of the day. The goal for the day is to help you guys apply all that we have learned. That's color, font, layout, and creativity by designing a storybook cover for a real or imaginary story. Oh yes, that's the goal for today. Now, what is a book cover? A book cover is the first thing someone sees before they read a book. It gives clues about what the story is about and helps people decide if they want to read it or not. So, whenever you get a book, all right, once you look at it, it tells you what the book is all about. Okay, so now this is an example of a book cover that we have here. This front page, all right, this is what we call a book cover. Okay, so looking at this, you know what the book is talking about, and just with the design you know that this book is for children. Okay, so now a well designed cover, all right, reflects the story's theme and genre. Just like I told you guys, just looking at the cover, right, you should be able to tell the story theme. That's what the story is all about. All right, you should be able to tell the genre. Is this a romance book? You're supposed to tell what type of book it is just by looking at the cover. All right, then it captures the reader's attention with visuals and design. So if you look at this book cover here, it will capture your attention. Imagine that there is no book cover, or that everything here is just plain. You understand? It's just like all yellow color, nothing, no design, nothing. All right, obviously it will not catch your attention. Okay, and then it gives an idea of the narrative without revealing too much. Just like I said, by looking at the book cover, right, you already know what the story is all about. You already know what the book, all right, is all about. Okay, so let's look at the elements of storybook cover. All right, let's look at the elements. Okay, so the first element that we have here is the title. All right, the title is the name of the story, and the name should be clear, bold, easy to read. All right, I've always told you guys that the title, which is the main message which you are trying to pass, should be bold. You can see the title is bold, so it's easy to read also. All right, then the next element is illustration or graphics, right? So visual elements should match the mood of the story. All right, looking at this, all right, you can tell that this has to do with fantasy, has to do with all this princess kind of story. All right, the next element is color scheme. All right, so you use color that evoke emotions linked to the story. All right, so if you look at this now, look at the color that they use. My friend Rosie, so they use like a friendly kind of color showing beautiful sky, green grass, nature. All right, so now the next one we're going to look at is typography. All right, font should align with the story's theme, playful for kids. So like the font that you decide to adopt for your book cover, your storybook cover, right, should align with the theme. That's what the story is talking about. Do you understand? Like example, we have here, the font here is playful and is fun for kids. All right, kids will like this type of font. So looking at this book cover here, you can tell this is very interesting. Okay, and you can tell it's all about animal. All right, so now that we have done that, book covers usually have two sides. So the first one is the front cover, which shows the title, the author's name, and a picture. All right, that's for the front cover, right? It shows the title, the author's name, and then a picture. Look at the author's name right here, then see the title, and then see the picture here, right? So the second one is the back cover, which includes a short description. All right, then maybe a picture, or sometimes a barcode or a logo. All right, that's for the back cover. So book cover has two sides, the front and then the back cover. Just like a movie poster grabs attention, a great book cover does the same for books. All right, so if you want your story cover, right, your storybook cover to grab people's attention, all right, then you should design it very well. Make sure the title is bold, make sure you use color that goes with the theme. The typography that you use is very important. Then the illustration or graphics is also very important. All right, when you use this very well, then it will be able to grab people's attention. When people see your book, they will want to read it just by looking at the book cover. Okay, so now that you know what makes a book cover stand out, it's time to bring your idea to life. So let's open our Canva and start designing front and back book cover. Before that, let's run down through the steps of how we are going to achieve this front and back book cover, and then see what we are going to design. All right, designing the front. So for the front book cover, look at the story cover we're going to design here. It says "Lovely Family, the Most Precious Treasure" by Blessing Amarachi. Okay, so now let's run down through the step. Our step one will always be to create a new design. So how will you do that? By opening our Canva, all right, and then click on create a design at the top right and choose book cover. So the document size we will use for this design is book cover, this one right here. All right, so you just need to search book cover and then you see it and you click on this particular one. All right, so the second step which we are going to follow is to set the background. So once we have gotten our document size, the next thing we want to do is to set our background, okay, which is our background color. Remember, if you don't want to use the same background color that I use, you're always free to choose your own color. All right, so after that, the third one is to add our elements. All right, set up the background. Once we have added our background color, we are going to add a pattern known as speckled pattern. All right, so we'll add it. We'll go to elements and then we'll search for it. Okay, and then we'll get it and place it right here. I know here is not really that visible, but if you look at it very well, you will see some blue speckles right here. All right, so once we have done that, we would want to change the color. You see now it's more visible now that we have changed the color. So we'll change our color. I changed mine to this. Remember, you can always choose your own color. So once we are done with that, all right, we'll add a wood floor. All right, so we'll add a wood floor down here. All right, and we'll get that in our element. So we just go to element and search for wood floor, and then we'll pick the one we want and then add it here. So once we are done with that, all right, we'll add a potted plant illustration. All right, so we'll go to element and search potted plants. All right, and then pick any plant that you want. Okay, you pick any plant that you want and then you add it here. For this design, we are going to need 2 plants. Okay, so you get another one. For me, I got this one for the second one and I kept it here. So after that, the next step, all right, is to add the illustration that we see here. All right, the illustration that we see here, and we just search for family giving kisses to baby. All right, so one thing when you're designing is that since you are using Canva and you can find most of your elements in Canva, okay, just look at the illustration that you see and know what it is giving, like what is it saying. All right, most of the times when we search for things, just like we search for in our last class, we're searching for a jumping kid because we saw the kid jumping. All right, so we just search for a jumping kid. All right, and we saw it. Okay, so most of the times if you want to use an element and you don't know the name, just look at the element very well. Just what is it telling? What is it trying to say? Once you get that idea, just search for it in elements, and I tell you that you are going to see it there. So if you look at this illustration here, you will see that the 2 parents, all right, were kissing their baby. Okay, so I just search for family giving kisses to baby, and you can see here there are a lot of illustrations for that. Okay, but I decided to pick this particular one. That's this one right here. So I picked it, clicked on it, and then kept it where it should be, like this. So the next step we follow is to add cartoon cards. All right, because if you look at that our design very well, we see that there was a cat somewhere here. All right, so we just search for cartoon cards. All right, you will see so many cards, but I wanted to use this particular one here, so I just clicked on it. Okay, so you will see here that I have already kept the card where I wanted it to be. All right, so if you look at it very well, you see that my card is where I wanted it to be. So the next step we want to do is to add the title. All right, so to add the title, now you just come to text, click on text. Okay, so we add the text, then we type the name of our novel, which is Lovely Family. So the first one we type Lovely. Okay, we change the font, and then the font size, and then the color, and place it where we want it to be. Once we are done, all right, we will duplicate that font. So instead of us to go through the hassle of going to text again, get to the font, changing the size, the text itself, we just need to duplicate this particular font by pressing Ctrl D. All right, so you just duplicate it, then bring it down, type what we want to type, family, and then change the color. Okay, so once we are done, all right, the same thing we will do for the most precious treasure. All right, we duplicate, but this time around, instead of duplicating the family, okay, we'll duplicate the lovely. All right, duplicate it, and then just type what you want to type and place it like this. Then the next one is to add the author's name. All right, if you want, your author's name can be down or up, anywhere you want to be, depending on the design that you are making. But for this, I wanted mine to be up. Okay, I wanted mine to be up, so I just duplicated the family this time around. So instead of duplicating the lovely, I duplicated the family. All right, placed it up, and then type my name. Okay, so we are done with designing the front cover. So the next one is designing the back cover. Okay, this is how our back cover looks like. All right, so we are just going to run through the steps also. So this one, it should be much more easier to do. Right, once you have getting your front, the back cover should be much more easier, although depending on the design that you want. But for this particular one, all right, it's much more easier for us to do. This is why I say so. So this time around, instead of us to start creating another document size, okay, we just click on add page. That's this icon that you are seeing here. Just click on it, then you add a new page. Okay, add a new page down. So once we have done that, so the pattern that we got for the front cover. So instead of us to go to elements and search it again and start changing the color, the only thing we need to do is just to copy the first one that we did, or duplicate it, anyone you want to do. But then for me, I copied it. Okay, so you can just copy it and then come here and do Ctrl V or right click to paste. Then you paste this right here. There's no need for you to start going to elements and start adding and changing color again. You get? So you just copy it and paste it, or you duplicate it and bring it down. All right, since they are all in the same page. So the next thing after you have done that, all right, is to also copy the title. So just go to the first page, we copy the Lovely Family, the most precious treasure. We just copy it, okay, and also paste it here, and we resize it the way we want it to be. So now there's no need for us to start adding text and duplicating them and changing color. You see, whatever I say that it's easy, the back cover is much more easier. So once we are done, all right, we have to put a short description about the novel. All right, so sometimes you can even put your, small about yourself. You can even type about yourself, but for this book cover, we don't want to, type anything about the author, which is me. So I just added, a small description about the book. All right, so once you are done with that, all right, you add a rectangle. So just go to tools, then shapes, and get a rectangle there. Then you resize it how you want it to be. Then once you are done, you change the color, okay, to this. Then the last, well, not the last, actually, the next step is for us to, add the barcode. Okay, so for the barcode, you go to element and you search for barcode, and you see different barcode, so you get the one that you want. Okay, but for this particular barcode, it was transparent. All right, I needed it to have this white background, so I just got a rectangle from shapes, placed it under, and then changed the color to white. So the final step, all right, will be to save your work, okay, which is to click on share, then download your work, and you can share it to anybody you want to share it with. All right, so now that we are finished going through the steps, all right, let's open our Canva and start designing. So now I've opened my Canva here. So this is the Canva homepage. Okay, so now that our Canva is right here, the first step we would want to take, all right, is for us to create a design, create a new design. That is our document, which we use it to design. All right, so now we come here, the tray bar on top of home that says open menu. So if we click on it, all right, you see create a design. So we click on create a design. All right, so we come here and we search for book cover. Right now I have this. You can see there are still so many types. All right, there's so many types that you would want to use. So we click on this particular one here. That's the first one. You can see that our page is loading. See, our document size is here. Okay, our document size is here. All right, so now that we have this, the second step which we need to take, okay, is for us to add the background color. All right, add the background color. So to do that, we need to click on this empty space right here so that the color icon will come out. So we'll click on it. Okay, and you can see it's already out. It's saying background color. Okay, so we click on it. If you want to use any color here, you can. Okay, but for me, I would want to choose my color. So for me, I think this is okay. So now I've gotten my background color. So the next step which I would want to do is to add the speckled pattern. All right, so to do that, we come here to elements, and then we'll click on elements. All right, so I'm going to click on elements. Then we search for speckled pattern. Okay, so now see, we come to graphics, all right, and then we'll click on see all. Go to graphics and click on see all. So now the one that I want to use is this particular one here. And then if you're looking at it, it seems invisible, all right? You can hardly see what is here, but then this is the particular one that I want to use. So I just click on it, all right, and it is here. And I know still you can't see it like that. Okay, you can't see it like that. So let me expand this, and then something is actually here. Okay, so something is here, right? Even though that you can't actually see it. So for this to be visible, if you look at it, you will see like there's some blue colors here. So the next thing I want to do is to change the color for this. So if I click on it, you see, come to color here, click, and then I want to change the color. So if I do this, is it giving me the color that I want it to be? Let's make it a bit darker. Okay. See now it's more visible now, and that is darker, it's more visible. Now I have this. Now at least you can see it a bit. Okay, you can see it a bit. So now that we have added this pattern, all right, the next thing we want to add is, you know, the wood floor that we saw here. Okay, so we come back to our elements. All right, clear this and search for wood floor. Okay, going to enter. So since this is opening, I'll come to see all. All right, and then I click on see all, so I can see what I have. All right, so this is the particular one I want to use right here, this particular one. So what do? I click on it. Okay, so see it here now. So I bring it down and then I scale it. Right? I scale it a bit. All right, so for me this is okay. So now that I have this, all right, let me scale this one a bit so it covers it like this. So now I have this. So now this is what I have here. My front book cover is, you know, coming together. Okay, so now I want to change the color of this, my wood floor. I want to change the color, so I'll click on it, come here, open this one up. Okay, and then you just make it a bit lighter, right? Like this. Come here and then I'll choose the color of my background. So now I have this, but then I still feel like I need to make this one lighter. So okay. Perfect. This is okay for me. All right, so now I have this. I have this right here. So the next step for us to do, you know, is to put the plants, the potted plants here and here. Okay, so to do that, all right, we go back to elements, clear this, all right, and then search for potted, because they are in a pot. Potted plant. So I press enter. Okay, so I click on see all so that I can see everything that I'm doing, see all the pot plant that I have. Sorry. Okay, so the one I want to use right here, this particular one. So I just click on it, and now see it's too big, so I need to, you know, resize it. So I resize it to the shape that I want it to be, and then I place it somewhere here like this. Okay, so now I have this, so I need to get another pot. Okay, I need to get another pot, so let me search for the second one. So okay, no, that one is pro. So okay, look at the one I'm looking for here, this particular one. So I click on it. Okay, I also bring it down here. All right, and just, you know, take it inside a bit like this. Okay, so now I have this. I've put my plants. You see, my background is coming in together little by little. Okay, so now that we are done putting our plants, all right, we need to add the illustration. That's the family. Okay, so to add the family, we go back to elements and then we click on elements. All right, and then we'll clear this one up and we search for family. All right, giving kiss to a baby. So you click on enter. Oh, made a mistake. All right, so we come to graphics and click on see all. All right, see there are different illustrations. All right, but then this is the one I want to use here, this particular one. So I just click on it to get it, bring it down a bit. Okay, so this is okay by me. All right, this is okay by me. So now I have this. Maybe I should just bring it. Nice. So now we have this. Okay, see our designs are looking beautiful already and it's not yet done. So we need to add the cats. So now let's add the cats. The cat that was here. Let's add it. So go to elements, clear this one, and then we search for cartoon, cat, enter. All right. Then we come to see all. See, there are different cats actually. Different. So I want to use this one, the lying down sleeping cat. So I'll just use this one. So I bring it down here. Alright, so it will be like this. So now we have our cat right here. Okay, we have our cat right here. So what is the next step for us to do? It's for us to add our title. Alright, you see our book cover is coming in together. So now we need to add our title right here. So to do that, we come to text, okay, and then we add a text box. All right, so click on add a text box. All right, and then we'll type lovely. Okay, type lovely. So now we have this here. So we need to work on those elements to give us what we actually want to the on this text. Sorry, so we'll increase this. We said we want our text to be 263. So we just type 263. Enter. So now we have this. We're looking at this. Is this what we want? No, I'm not done working at it. So we come here and we look for scripter. That's the name of the font. So script. Enter. So see the font we want to use here. So we just click on it. And you see, at least the font is not given. So we need to change the font color. All right, so we need to change the color. So we'll click on the text, come to the A with the multiple color, click on it. All right, and then we need to change the color for those fonts. All right, so getting color is a hassle. I think we have gotten the color. All right, I think we have gotten the color. So now I just want to move this a bit here. All right, so we have the space to write other ones here. So like I said, that instead of us to start coming to test and adding another text box, okay, we just need to duplicate this. So it's either you press Ctrl D to duplicate, or you click on this icon that has a cross inside it. If you just click on it, you notice that the text has duplicated. So you just bring it down a little bit like this. And then I just type family. I just type family. So I just click on it and type family. Okay, so you see, I don't need to go through the step of increasing the size and things like that. Okay, so now I just need to change color. That's all I need to do. I just click on the text color. Okay, so now we need to change the color. And sometimes getting colors can be a hassle. So you just need to calm down to be able to get the particular color that you want to. I think we have gotten the color. Yeah. So now we have this. All right. So the next step for us is to put, the most lovely family, the most precious treasure. So again, instead of us to, start typing again, we just need to click on this color. All right, duplicate it again like we did for the family. Bring it down here and then we write the most precious treasure. And you see, wow, this font is now big, so you need to reduce the font size. So you just come here, you can use this plus or minus. So plus is for increasing or minus is for decreasing. Or you can also just decrease it like this. Okay, but then if you don't want to do that, you can just come to minus here and then just decrease it like this. Okay. So it's decreasing. All right. So now I have this. I just bring it down a bit like this. And make sure everything is just aligned together. So you see now I have this. I have lovely family, the most precious treasure. So you see our fonts are just coming in together. All right, so I feel like we need to, move this down a bit. So I just hold down the shift key down and then anyone that I click, you see that it will select. So I don't need to move them one by one. So now I just move this down a little bit. So now our design is just coming in together. All right. So the next step which we need to take is actually for us to, add the author's name. Okay. So we need to add the author's name. So to do that, we'll just duplicate the family. All right. So we don't need to, start changing the color. Okay, so just duplicate, click on the text, want to duplicate here, or you press Ctrl D. You click on it, bring it up here. All right, so now type my name. We have Blessing Amarachi. All right, so you see this one is also big. Okay, so we need to resize it. So yes. So now we have the author's name right here. All right, so you see now our design, okay, we just finished our front cover. Is this not beautiful? Look at now. Just finished making a storybook cover. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is to add another page. Instead of us to go and start adding a new whole entire document size. All right, if you just come to this icon here, you say add page. All right, so since we're using the same document size, no need to go and start opening another new page. Okay, so we just add a page here, and now we'll have this. All right, we'll have this. Let me reduce this a bit. So now we have this. I told you guys that the back cover for this particular storybook, all right, is not going to be hard to get. Okay, so now that you see, once we added the page, it came with the background color. So there is no need for us to go and start adding another background color. So now the next thing we need to do is to add the pattern. Okay, so I can just come here. All right, I know that this is the pattern, so I can just come here, right click. All right, or you do Control C. You know, like it says here, Control C, this particular one. So you just copy this, come down here, click on the page, right click again, you see paste. So I've just pasted it. You see, it's already here. So there's no need for me to go to Elements and search it and start changing the color. Okay, so now I just have this right here. So now what else do I need to do to get the back cover? All right, we need to go and copy the title also. Okay, so we need to copy the title. So here, instead of us to start again and start copying this title one after the other, all right, there is an easy way for us to do this thing, to copy it. So we just hold down our shift key, we'll click on this. All right, click on the family, make sure you're holding down the shift key. Okay, and you just click on the three of them. It has selected the three of them. Okay, so you just right click again, copy, then you come down here, click on this page, right click again, paste. You see, so now it is here. So you just move it up a bit like this. So now I have this. You see, like within seconds, we have already gone half our back cover. Okay, so now we'll have this. So what is the next thing for us to do? Is for us to add the description. Okay, so this time around for the description, we just go to text, all right, and then add a text box. Okay, if you add this text box, just type the story description. All right, type the story description. So for me, don't look at what I'm typing. I'm just showing you guys something. All right. So I'm just like writing a short description. Lovely Family is a book about how precious family is, right? How you should treasure and love your family. Understand? So now I want to change the font for this. So I'll just come here, click on the font, and then let me change this and put Poppins. I just add Poppins. Okay, I'm just adding Poppins for it. So I click on Poppins. See, now it has changed. All right, so I want to reduce this a bit. All right, so what I'm going to do actually for this, okay, is to copy this. Don't do what I did though. I'm just trying to show you guys something. So now I have this. Okay, so I need to resize it. So I'll just make it big a little, like this, right? Make it big a little, like this. So now I'll just so this is like this now. So I'm going to change the color for this. So this green color here. So I'll come to test color. All right, change the color. So now I have this. And then I want to make this bold. So I'll just click on bold. Click on bold. So now I have this. Okay. Now I have this right here. Alright, so now I have this. So the next thing I want to do is to add a rectangle, the rectangle that we saw here. Alright, so I'll just come to tools, click on tools, go to shape, click on this rectangle here, then I'll bring it down, resize it like this, bring it down here. So I need to change the color for this. So I'll just click on it, come to color, okay, and change the color to this. All right, change the color to this. The color is the same color with the text. Okay. So this was the color. The next thing we need to do is to add our barcode, okay? So to do that, we go to elements, all right? Then we search for barcode. So we've already searched for it, all right? Come to graphics, see all. Okay, so we need to get our barcode. So I'm going to use this particular one here. So I'll just click on it. So it's here. I will resize it like this and then use my rotate key and rotate it. So I'll just place it here. Okay. So I need to make it smaller. So this is how I want it to be. So the next thing that I would want to do is, you see, if you look at this barcode, right, it's not that visible. So I want to add like a rectangle under this barcode, okay, so that it will be visible like the one we saw. So we come to tools, okay, then we'll click on shape, rectangle. All right, so now we have gotten our rectangle. So we bring it right here, we size it how we want it to be. So this is perfect for me. So what do I need to do? I click on this and change the color to white. All right, so now I have this, but you see that the barcode is not visible. Okay, so I right click on this shape, come to layer, and then I'll send backwards, not back. If you send it to the back, it will go at the back of the rectangle that we created. So we just send backwards, so we just shift back a little, and then I will have this. Okay, so now you can see that our barcode is now visible. Okay, so now we'll have this, but then I need to align this. Okay, make it smaller a bit. Okay, so now we have this. All right, we have our barcode right here. And with this, I can tell you guys that our design is ready. Okay, with this, you can know that our design is ready. Perfect. So now we've added our barcode and then our design here is ready. So now you see this is the front, all right, and this is the back. So we have successfully created a front and back story cover. All right, so let's go back to our slide. Let me show you guys what we are going to do. So this is what we created. All right, look at the front and then look at the back. Okay, mini project. Now it is your turn. I know you do this with me, but I want you to make something that is different from what I made. All right, you might follow the same layout, all right, the same steps as we followed, but I want you to use different colors, different fonts, different illustrations. So create both a front and a back cover. I want you to have your own story and your own name as the author. Thank you all for joining this class today. I will see you guys in our next class.